Westfalia Fruit is a leading multinational supplier of fresh fruit and related processed products to international markets. Part of the Hans Merensky Holdings Group, Westfalia grows, sources, and ripens, packs, processes, and markets top-quality avocados year-round. Our avocado and other fruit plantations across the globe are managed according to the most sustainable production principles possible. But sustainability is not just a trendy catchphrase for the group. It is the fundamental principle on which our business was started 70 years ago by Dr. Hans Merensky. Aside from being a world prospector and geologist, he was also an ardent conservationist, humanitarian, and visionary. He was passionate about sustainability long before it became fashionable, and as the current custodians of his assets, we worked tirelessly to make our founder's dream a reality. Part of Westfalia's commitment to sustainable operation is to promote and uphold the responsible use of scarce resources such as water. By caring for and protecting the environment in this manner, we help safeguard natural resources for future generations while ensuring the viability of the business going forward.
In South Africa, avocado estates are situated in the Limpopo, KwaZulu-Natal, and Eastern Cape provinces. One of the farm states located in the Mpane District Municipality of Limpopo is Waterfall Farm.
The purpose of this video is to introduce the centralized low-flow irrigation system recently installed at Westfalia's Waterfall Farm. For the first time ever, both water and fertilizers can be delivered directly to the trees through the centralized irrigation system and fertigation. Waterfall Farm has 133 hectares of developed avocado orchards. Most of these orchards were irrigated using drag lines. An irrigation system is normally designed to have a lifespan of 15 years. And through our evaluations, the following conclusions were drawn. The drag lines were highly labor intensive. Lots of water was utilized than expected. More electricity was consumed through this irrigation system. And it normally took 5 to 7 days to get around the farm for one irrigation cycle. Waterfall comprises of large area of old orchards, approximately 40 years old. The recent replanting of 14 hectares provided Waterfall management with an ideal opportunity to consider the entire farm, investigate and redesign the irrigation system. The engineering team at Westfalia was tasked with a challenge to get their hands dirty in terms of evaluating the old irrigation system and coming up with a new design of a low-flow drip, in this case Clifs. A phased approach was taken to replace the entire irrigation system at Waterfall with a centralized low-flow irrigation system. With the introduction of Clifs, Waterfall operations can remain in the forefront of irrigation technology for at least the coming 15 years. The whole system can be automated and monitored on a continuous basis, both in the pump house as well as remotely via a cell phone. Clifs is an ideal solution for shallow root system of avocado trees and can handle all soil types. Last but not least, Clifs provides for efficient fertigation even in heavy rainfall seasons.
Clifs is a new type of irrigation system that applies water at a much lower rate than is common at Westfalia from the micro irrigation systems. Micro irrigation applied 12 cubic meters per hour per hectare, whereas low flow drip only applies 3 cubic meters per hectare per hour. Flow rate of 0.7 liters per hour is achieved by using specifically designed dripper lines. The drippers is spaced 1 meter apart on the line. In a row there will then be 2 or 3 dripper lines to achieve the low flow rate of 3 cubic meters per hour or less. What we have here is the storage facility for our fertilizer. Fertilizer is mixed within the pump house and stored in these tanks to be then dosed into the system when necessary. With the low application rate of the dripper lines, a longer irrigation time is necessary to apply the same volume of water to the trees that is necessary for them. One of the biggest advantages of drip irrigation is to apply fertilizer continuously with the irrigation water right to the roots of the tree. What we have here is the pipes going out of the pump house to each block in the field, dedicated with water and fertilizer to service each block independently. Westfalia Fruit Estates engineering team designed, commissioned and built this centralized pump house that services 38 irrigation blocks that makes up 132 hectares of planted orchard. From this pump house, all fertigation and irrigation processes are monitored and managed via the Motec software. The TPO functionality enables you to access the Motec software from any other computer anywhere in the world. All the pumps, control valves and fertigation within the pump house is managed by a skilled staff member via the Motec software. Each block on the farm has its own dedicated main line, which runs specifically to that block, which enables the farmer to either irrigate one block at a time or all the blocks simultaneously, fertigating it to the needs of that specific block.
Water efficiency, obviously nowadays with water being a very sought after resource in farming, Westfalia has tackled this Clifs project, and one of the main advantages is the fact that you use approximately 30% less water under low flow or the Clifs system in comparison to the micros. On this farm at Waterval we used to make use of drag lines, and with the current system, with the Clifs system that we've implemented now, we're able to save up to 60% in terms of water use, which is obviously a major plus. Clifs saves time and money on Waterval. We can irrigate the whole 132 hectares all in one go at any given time. One of the beauties of the system is that when you get a heat wave or unexpected weather that you haven't been able to plan for, you're able to open up the taps and everything gets water at the same time, which is obviously a huge advantage. As you can see, the pump house is in the background. Everything is all in one place. Your valves are all together. Your fertigation is all set up and monitored in one place, which saves a lot of time. You don't have to go into the field to do any monitoring. Everything's at your fingertips in one building. Another advantage is that your dosing of hydrogen peroxide allows you to continually clean the system. You don't have you have preventative maintenance as opposed to corrective maintenance, so there's no major flushing to try and clean and sort out a system. It's a continuous cleaning of the lines, which also saves a lot of time and obviously the risk of blocking up any drippers down the line. Clifs also is an energy saving system. We use a lot less energy than what we used to in the past. We have the use of a low pressure system now, so that means fewer pumping hours and thus less energy being used. Another factor is the fact that you don't have to take fertilizer to the land, so you don't have tractors driving around delivering fertilizer. It's all applied in one place, saves you a lot of time and energy as well. We also have the fact that not only are your orchards greener, but your
company as well is running with a much lower carbon footprint. So in the end, it's a win-win. Clifs is also labor efficient. We used to operate with roughly 8 to 9 irrigators at one stage, and now it's just a guy on a quad bike driving around, making sure that the system's running efficiently. So in terms of irrigation, you're saving labor. You're also on the fertilizer saving labor because everything's applied through the irrigation as the tree needs it, so you don't have specific fertilizer applications, but rather continuous applications through the month. Clifs also provides you with immediate data. Any information you need you can pull directly off the Motec system. If you need to look at irrigation efficiencies, total amounts of water used, fertilizer applied to the block, to the farm as a whole, any information that you need is readily available. That also helps the engineering guys as well, because they can use information that's real time, that you're not waiting months to capture or to analyze data. You can pull that straight off the system and use it for any future developments. Clifs also enables us to manage a lot easier and a lot better. The management process is simple. It allows you to have complete control, and in my opinion this is the biggest advantage for a manager. You're able to have a look at any detail in terms of irrigation and fertigation in one go. Also allowed the flexibility of applying exactly what the plant needs throughout its cycle. The biggest benefit to that is you continually applying fertilizer. The tree is not stressed, or stressed in shorter intervals, whereas in the past you would not be able to get around the farm in time to supply water when it's needed. In our case now with the Clifs system, you are able to provide continuous irrigation and fertigation. So as the tree requires that nutrients, you are providing it. It's also allowing that production to increase because you are cutting out those stress periods. You have a huge advantage, especially when it comes to temperature extremes. When you've got heat waves that come, you're able to open up the whole farm in one go. And not only are you applying water, but you're giving it food exactly when it needs it. The continuous application of irrigation water and fertigation allows you not only to supply what the tree needs, but it also becomes a huge advantage during flowering and fruit set, during that pollination period, when your tree is very sensitive to water stress or lack of water. It also brings in the fact that you can now irrigate at night, which with fewer people walking around your orchards in the evening, especially on this farm where we have hippos walking around, so it becomes a major advantage. Some of the other horticultural benefits of the Clifs system which we are noticing is the fact that you are irrigating optimally. You're not over irrigating. It's very difficult to lose water through your soil profile because of the rate at which the low flow drippers are giving your tree water. We are able also to install e-seed probes in the soil, which allow us to monitor and measure the amount of fertilizer going past the root zone, which obviously makes management a lot more specific and scientific. You know exactly what you're putting down, you know what you're losing, and you can adjust the program accordingly. You're also at the same time applying at such a low rate that you're actually pulling oxygen into the soil, as opposed to micros or sprinkler irrigation where you are pushing the oxygen out of the pores between the soil particles. So that is a huge advantage to avocados specifically because of their sensitivity to Phytophthora root rot, which is related to the oxygen content in the soil. Overall, the Clifs system provides many advantages. We can see those advantages on the ground already in the tree condition. We can see it in terms of the water used, the fertigation method. It's really a huge advancement on what we used to do. Overall, we'll definitely see the impact on the production, not only on tree condition, but on the final yield that we get to pick in these orchards.
Westfalia fruit agricultural and engineering teams are very excited, not only by the improvements that Clifs brings to waterfowl farming, but also by the opportunity to take the group's avocado production to the next level. This project has enabled Westfalia employees to grow and to enhance their skills by designing and working with innovative technology. This paved the way to understanding the exact nutrient and water requirements of avocado tree. This can only strengthen the profile of Westfalia Fruit Group as the true avocado experts.